Hey folks, Post here, welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video, and today I'm going to go over potential boosts versus dupes. Since a lot of people have been asking me, I guess I'll just make a quick video going over them. So, folks have been asking which to prioritize the vouchers on. Should we prioritize the vouchers on potential boosts for Solgaleo, or should we prioritize them on dupes for Solgaleo? And honestly, the answer is kind of, it doesn't matter that much if and only if you are planning to max Solgaleo out anyways. So if you're gonna max Solgaleo out anyways and you're not gonna use him until you max it out, it doesn't matter which one you go for. But there are some, I guess, scenarios where you would want to prioritize one over the other. That being, if you're trying to work or if you're trying to use Solgaleo while you're trying to max it out in the process of maxing it out, or if you just don't plan to max it out at all because you're busy or whatever, and that's totally fine, right? So I guess there are, let's just go over what the potential tickets do or potential boosts do and what the dupes do in comparison. So the dupes, what dupes do, and there's only 5 dupes, right? Total, or I guess 4 more, 5 if you count the initial one. So what they do is, all they do is they boost your move's power, and I can't really show you guys the tickets and how much they cost since I already finished mine. So they're not in the exchange shop, but what boosts do is they increase your move's power. They increase your sync moves power, they increase all that stuff, right? They don't increase your stats or whatever, so it just makes you hit harder, basically. The dupes make you hit harder, but on the other side, potential tickets, they increase your stats overall, which also includes making you hit harder. So with potential tickets, you can increase all your stats, including your offensive stats, which dupes also do, right? So basically, if you see it this way, potential tickets do everything that dupes do, but also includes leveling up your speed, your defenses, your HP, and that. But dupes, per dupe, you get more offensive. You get more damage out of each dupe, basically. I think for potential tickets, it's every boost is like +2 to all stats, and then like +5 or +4 to HP or something like that. I can't honestly remember, but it doesn't boost them by too much. But obviously, 20 more potential boosts, that's gonna increase it by a lot, right? So overall, if you were to ask me which one to go for first, and to get it up to 20 out of 20, it's 9,000 tickets. And if you guys want to know how much it costs for dupes, I actually don't know because I already exchanged all my dupes. But you could just check in the shop and then calculate them yourselves, since the dupes are listed, the potential tickets are not. They're like, potential tickets cost like 9.2k or something to completely max it out. So in comparison, like, both of them do cost a lot to max out anyways, but like the highest per potential ticket cost, I remember it was like around 860 or something. So it's easier, it's more, you get potential tickets more consistently, or I guess more quicker, I guess, overall in comparison to dupes. But I think you, like, in total, I remember dupes cost slightly less. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure dupes, if you want to max out dupes, it costs less than maxing out potential. But anyways, again, they both cost a lot, so that's the bottom line. But if you are trying to use Solgaleo while you're leveling the dude up, or again, if you're not committed to going the full 9 miles, getting it 5 out of 5, 20 out of 10, which honestly is not that difficult as long as you have time, right? I personally completed it in, I guess, a pretty quick amount of time in comparison to Mewtwo. It's nothing like Mewtwo. Mewtwo was much more difficult. But again, if you are in one of those circumstances, I would suggest potential tickets. Reason being is dupes, sure, they do increase your move power, but potential tickets increase your damage as well. But they also increase your speed. Speed affects your move gauge, obviously. It also increases your HP, defense, special defense, your tanking stats. But a word of caution, I guess, is for potential boosts, there's two, I guess, schools of thought on how you want to do this. One, obviously some people want it to get 20 out of 20 because, it tanks more, right? Hits harder and all that stuff. And obviously tanking more is nice in co-op. But in single player, not so much because of how much bulk Solgaleo has. If you get it out to 20 out of 20, basically in single player, it will draw aggro away from your supports if your supports are not a max level Dusclops or superior. So that would be an issue, and I think that stops at 15. After you go to 16 out of 20 and above, in single player, they start targeting you a lot instead of a lot of the other mainstream supports, right? Which you probably don't want to happen if you're playing single player a lot with Solgaleo. But on the other hand, Solgaleo isn't that crazy in single player anyways. Like Mewtwo's still better, Will's still better, right? And there are a lot of other options that you could use. So again, Solgaleo's, that's not the biggest deal, and the other is obviously get it to 20 out of 20. So it's either 15 out of 20 or 20 out of 20. If you want to play it safe, if you you don't think you have enough time to grind this thing out completely, I would suggest maybe go for potential first, bring it up to like 15 out of 20, and then go for some dupes, and then get as many dupes as you can before the event finishes. So I think that would be a way to go at it. But obviously this is just all, there's really isn't any like right way to go about this. It's all preference, right? You could go for dupes as well, because if you go for dupes, I guess the advantage over there is, well, obviously you're going to hit a lot harder. But the other thing is, once you get 5 out of 5, after you get 5 out of 5 on dupes, you could just use the rest on potential tickets, and you'll see, how much you can get, right? Because potential tickets, they're much cheaper per ticket, so it's from whatever time or effort you have left there, you could possibly pick up some potential tickets. Well, in comparison, it's much harder to pick up a singular dupe once you've maxed out your potential tickets 20 out of 20, right? So I guess there are those two kind of different competing thoughts. Again, I personally would suggest go for potential boost first, maybe get it up to 15, and then go for dupes, and then after that pick up the last 5, because again, even though there is that problem with that 15 with the bulk issue in single player, I don't think it's that big. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's kind of overblown. Again, you could still use Dusclops and Superior in single player, which again, Dusclops and Superior, they're really, really good partners for Solgaleo anyways. So you probably want to run them anyways. And also another thing that I actually, and I made a whole video about this yesterday, right? And something I didn't mention in that video that I wanted to mention was sync pair grids, or sync grids will be coming out soon, right? And I'm also doing a video on sync grid speculation stuff as well today. You can check that out. Subscribe and all that. But when sync grids come out, you can also control your other stats, right? Because sync grids, they can increase your stats. So I would assume these stats are separate. It's not going to be like one grid will increase your attack speed, HP, and all your stats, right? I think they're going to be separate. Again, this is speculation, right? But it very likely would be, one grid is for attack, one grid's for defense, one grid's for whatever. So when sync grids come out, as a Solgaleo player, you can selectively just go for the offensive ones, right? And then with 20 out of 20, you could still pick up all the offensive stats that you get from Solgaleo in that sync, or not in the from the potential tickets. But then in the sync grid, you could just go for the offensive stats. You could go for offensive stats plus speed. And then for your supports, all your other supports, you could all pick up the defensive stats, as long as offensive stats, if it's, really farmable, right? But just pick up the defensive stats. So then after the Synchrid, your run-the-mill supports, like a Hilbert, Eevee, whatever, right? Torchic would be more bulkier than Solgaleo. So once Synchrid, a Synchrid comes out, you increase their bulk. They're going to be more bulkier and not increase Solgaleo's bulk. So by that time, you could be more selective with that, and that would obviously help a bit more. So anyways, again, that's me for this one. I'm just, I guess, giving a suggestion. Again, I don't have too many. I'm not like, if you guys want to go for dupes first, that's totally fine. I don't think that's a terrible decision either. Going for either one, or like some kind of mix of the two, right? Like I said, 15 potential first, and then for dupes, and then finish it off. But anyways, again, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, which ones you're going for first, dupes or potentials, and yeah, and any reasons why or so. I'd be curious to see that. But anyways, again, that's me for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel for some more Pokemon Masters content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.